It's that time. The Bright Side Chronicles is about to go down with Kerri and Nana. You ready for the show to begin?
Hey, let's go. Let's get it. It's almost showtime. Let's go. Let's get it. It's almost go time. Let's freaking go.
Well. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to you too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Back here, obviously, doing our Bright Side Chronicles featuring Mr. Eric. Please feel free to elaborate yourself and let people know what you do, who you are, name, things of that nature, so we can get the ball rolling from there.
I'm Eric, EB from EB Moments Photography. I started my own little photography business a few years ago now. I've always been kind of interested in photography and stuff like that for a while from like kind of a young age.
Okay.
Never really got into it because there's kind of a little bit of a stigma between guys in the photography industry. So
Yes.
And,
Okay. Okay, I'm excited. So, I mean, the thing is, the Bright Side Chronicles is more to just showcase what brings people the sense of joy, happiness, and in their daily life, whether it's work-wise, whether it's home life, whether it's hobbies, just anything that really can encompass the sense of joy and happiness that you get in the world. And I mean, I'm just grateful to have you on the show because, like, it's cool how many people we've been able to interact with. That's the other thing is like, one moment we'll have so and so person from whatever background to a teacher to we have a couple like people that are professionals in certain aspects of life. So it's awesome to hear the photography thing. How did you even get involved in that though? Because like that's cool stuff. Like I love photography. I can't do what you do, but I love photography. So please, like, how did you get involved in that?
well, I was interested from a young age, and then I had one of my bosses. He was doing photography for a little while, so he kind of used me as a test subject and stuff like that. I'm like, oh boy, I really am interested in this. I kind of like this a lot. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
But still didn't really get into it for a while. And when my mother passed away, and we didn't really have a lot of memorabilia, no photos, no videos, no nothing. It made me realize how important it really is to have pictures and videos and
Yep.
stuff like that. So it really sunk into me like, hey, I don't want other people to go through that and miss out on the life's moments and life's memories that they could have.
Correct.
So I started doing photography just so I can help out people and give that, and I did find a sense of happiness in it as well. And so for a while I was a little down in the dumps myself. Going and looking at the street, like, oh, look, another piece of gum on the sidewalk, and just kind of depressive, moping along, going through life.
Yeah.
And when I got into photography, to fill that need for other people, I found the happiness that I'm always looking now. Like when I'm going out for a walk, oh wow, that could be a really beautiful shot. Hey, that's a really awesome sunset. Hey, that's really awesome. And then I get to interact with people like Nana and stuff like that. So all this stuff that photography is bringing me kind of joy and happiness to myself as well
as the people around you. And so the reason why I say that is because like I love that you brought the whole like when you're walking and you see something, like most people don't have that mental capacity to be like, hey, like that's a cool like angle or whatever it is. I don't know. I me personally, I see something, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Like this picture moment. You know what I mean? You probably get that times 10 because that's like what photography is. It's like you just have a really good eye on certain things, and it's impressive because it takes a sense of like just being in the moment and not worrying about, oh my gosh, I got to think about the future. It's just like, no, like this moment is now, and how do I capture this moment? Because there's so many times that people rush through life, and I'm just like, dude, I want to enjoy every single moment that I get. Like I just gotta live in the moment and live in the now. So like, speaking of memories wise, when you think about pictures, what is one of your like favorite memories that sense of joy exudes when you see a picture of that nature?
Well, I like seeing people happy and stuff like that. So that's why I'm mostly into people photography.
Yeah.
Because I like to bring the joy and see the smiles on their faces and everything.
Mm-hmm. I love the dog barking in the background too. This is authentic as it gets.
Well, I saw you with your ears, your ears. Like, all right, I gotta do something for that too. I'm like,
You got Pokemon stuff?
no, but I did.
Oh! Yo, I just love that. Like, this is me and Kerri's zone of genius of just like joy and happiness, because that's the thing is like, we don't script it. This is literally like, we just do it on the fly, and it's like, whatever happens, happens. And we just kind of like keep going with the motions of it. You know what I mean? But speaking about that, so with photography wise, right? Obviously, what do you do for work? Because I like to also let people know, like, what is your occupation, and like, how does that also, like, bring you a sense of joy and happiness as well too?
Well, currently I'm a quality control manager.
Okay, explain that to us, because some people don't know what that is. Like,
So my company manufactures parts for like the aerospace industry, like for like maintenance wise and stuff like that.
yeah,
So when they make a part, it needs to be inspected, make sure it's in good quality, like there's no nicks, dings, missing holes or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
So I check over everything, a little bit of a math and stuff like that. Not too crazy, but
correct.
a lot of paperwork.
Well, that's what I was gonna say is like people work, right? So obviously, I work in the auto industry, so I'm constantly dealing with customer service and a whole different degree, quality control. Then you also have the photography aspect of it. So photography wise, like when you talk about like shoots, like how do you mentally prepare yourself for an event? Say if it was like a birthday shoot or high school picture, prom picture, things of that nature. Like how do you prepare yourself mentally? Like what are your course of action?
So it's very, very hard and it's easy to get a little upset with all the anxiety and stuff. Like for a
Correct.
wedding example. So like if doing a wedding, you can get easy work yourself up and get all the jitters and stuff like that. But what I do is like, all right, I try to plan for every scenario.
Okay.
I usually end up over prepared, but at least I have backup plans to my backup plans. So it alleviates some of the stress because then I know, hey, if this happens, it's taken care of.
Correct. Correct. Which is hell of impressive, because like I always wondered, like, because I'm not anywhere near photography inclined as you are, right? So per se, like with me, I just see something, I just take a picture of it. But with you going into it, let's say if you're going to like I don't know, just a nature shoot, right? Like you're taking pictures of nature. Like how do you? This angle is going to be good for this lighting. Like what goes into like the thought process of that though? Because that takes a lot to like just kind of gauge that too.
Yeah. Uh, the lighting makes a difference. You want to make sure like the lighting matches what you're kind of going for. You have leading lines and stuff like that, and certain types of aspects you want to get. So
Okay.
it's kind of all about the eye and kind of what you really want to get. So it's not really a big set of rules,
Yeah.
and it's more of it's your art really. So you see what I'm getting? It's
Yes.
it's art. Whatever you think is really beautiful or really cool, that's your art. That's your perspective.
Yeah.
You shouldn't really necessarily just follow every rule that someone on YouTube tells you to follow and make sure this is exactly center every single time.
It's not. It can't be perfect every single time. That's the other thing. Is like I think too many times it's like, oh, like this is the shot. This is the only shot. And it's like there's different ways to have the same exact shot. You know what I mean?
I look at photography as kind of your perspective of reality.
Okay. Damn. Whoo. Photography is your own perspective of reality. I like that because I mean, me personally, I don't know. I'm a free spirited person, as you can tell, as just catching up and stuff like that. I just do whatever makes me happy. So when you're in the photography, you probably get into your own zen moment of like joy and happiness because you're just like, man, this is cool. Like I'm really doing something that I enjoy, and it started off as a hobby, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's kind
And
of still a hobby in a way.
yeah. but at least you're building the clientele to keep getting better and better, which you are. And I've seen it. I mean, we've done photo shoots and they came out hell of amazing. Like people are like, yo, who took that? I'm like, that's my friend Eric. He's literally like really down to earth. Reach out to him. And I've definitely referred a couple people your way because I'm always just like, how can I help out friends and family and people that I enjoy to help them grow their business, if anything like that too, you know? So it just shows that it goes a long way for that too. And then speaking about other hobbies, what else do you do? Because the world needs to know this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, is there, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know, like what else what makes Eric Eric or what makes you happy? Like what are your aspirations and things that nature too?
Well, I've done archery, bow and arrow.
Archery.
Yep. You
What?
you got yeah, you got to stop by sometime. I got a little range set up in the backyard.
Say less, because I did archery. Oh damn, this was like freaking years ago at like a place called Camp Blanchard. I don't know if you remember that, but that was like years ago.
Yep, I was a level 2 archery instructor for a while.
Level two archery. Wait, so you literally how
Yep.
many years have you done archery for?
I went to school and I took a class, whatever it is, to become certified with the USSA and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And got insurance to teach kids, and so I could teach other people safely to shoot archery and give them pointers and all that stuff.
See, I mean, I didn't even know this because that's impressive. Because I'm like, I actually. So the funny thing is, one of my daughters, her friend actually does archery. So we are talking about it. This was like 2 weeks ago or whatever. And I'm like, yo, I remember doing archery back in the day, and it was so much fun because like, it's a process, the technique of like, you're pulling the arrow and then you almost like take a breather and then you let it go. Like it's kind of like it's actually interesting because it relates back to like photography of like holding the shot before you actually take the flip. So like it's almost like an analogy of that, you know what I mean? Which is intending to go from there too.
Hmm.
Huh. That's so okay. So archery. So we got photography, archery. I heard you play some pool, by the way.
Oh, well, because I don't have too many people to play with, so it gets boring playing it yourself. So
But so then with pool wise, how did that come about? Like what transpired from that?
it's just I got a pool table to play with my friends and stuff like that when they came over.
Yeah. I mean, I played pool. Oh my gosh, this is when I was probably like 9 years old. There was this place called the Lincoln Village Pool Center, which was like all the cool kids and kids in around the neighborhood just hung out. We played basketball. There was a swimming pool. They had a foosball table, and then they had a pool table. That table was constantly being used by everyone because people just like playing pool, like you know what I mean. But I remember like I took it to like the extreme where like they had tournaments, and I was like, I'm not trying to lose in these tournaments. So I got like super like into it, and then years later, I went to Conseg. Conseg happened to have a pool table that was there too, and I'm like, oh, this is crazy. This is gonna be freaking hilarious. So like on breaks after class, I would just go play pool, just kind of shoot the stuff with people and just kind of hang out. And it was so rewarding because it was like one of those things where like it almost brought back a sense of excitement and joy from my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember this one time they were having like basically if you lost, you'd move off the table, but if you didn't lose, you just get to play the whole day. So I had finished my classes right, and just went in there and I just was like, oh, I got some time to kill. I got like 2 hours before I go to work. So I started playing and I just started beating like everyone that came there. It was probably like 20 people. I was just like, nah, I'm not losing this. And then I just ended up leaving. But it was cool as heck because I was like, that's a game that like angles, power versus not so much power because you don't want to have the ball roll into it as like there's so many ways that you can even incorporate pool into a sense of life. Like, like it's a calm therapeutic sport. It's not like super aggressive. It's just you aim and you shoot and you hit the ball in the pocket and you call pockets and stuff like that too.
You got to think about your next shot.
Correct.
Like you got to think
Correct.
about I missed this shot and like what shots I'm going to open up for the next guy.
And it's so funny. I'm sorry, and I keep relating back to like the whole photography thing because it's planning the shot after shot, right? So like it's kind of like when I play pool, I'm like thinking probably like 4 shots ahead because if I hit this ball in the trajectory to hit there, I want to have it land at a certain spot. That's getting me ready for the next shot or things like that, which is kind of like photography, archery, like, there's all these, they all involve shooting something, which is right, kind of cool. That this is so freaking fascinating. I'm sorry, I just get excited about stuff like this. but but no, I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for it. And then, okay, so now when it comes to life in general, how are you taking care of your mental? Like, what is, what's, how are you going about that with, what we have going on in the world and everything like that so far?
Well, keep plugging away, trying to, think happy things. My photography is helping out a lot with all
Yeah,
the, extra things. So I'm not looking down at the ground anymore.
yeah,
Now, you know what I mean, right? I said earlier that I was
yeah,
just walking down, always have my head down, looking
yeah.
on the ground,
Well,
and now,
that's the thing.
now I'm looking everywhere. Oh, there's a bird flying around there. Oh, there's a pretty tree. Ooh, pretty flower.
But that's also like you're getting confidence. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing is like I remember when I was younger, I'd be like constantly like head down. I'm like, dude, like this is not good for you. And then I just started like just seeing what beauty nature has to offer and the world has to offer. And there's a lot of it. People don't realize it. Like we can walk past the same street all day, every week. There's always something going to be different about it each and every single day. Like that's just the reality because things are always constantly moving.
For one example, I drove by a Walgreens. You wouldn't think this would be a great picture place. But I drove
Mm.
by a Walgreens parking lot, and they had a little grassy area. That little grassy area had dandelions all over it. And like,
What?
oh my god, that is amazing. Like that'd be like amazing shot. I'm driving by, I'm all excited. I'm like, oh, I need to get somebody there and lay down the dandelions and take a picture of them.
Yo.
So on the way back from what I was doing, I'm like, well, I couldn't find anybody. I pulled in, but because it was nighttime now, they kind of all closed up.
Yeah.
But it would have been an awesome shot.
Holy crap. I just think it's just cool because like that's the process that you come with. Like when it's just a regular person that doesn't really focus on it, they're just like, oh, it's just flowers. Like that was this morning. So I was walking from the gym with Kerri, and I'm like headphones on, just kind of chilling, just mind my own business. She sees the flower and she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful!" And she goes through this little thing where she does that on like random stuff all the time, and I'm like, "It's just a flower," but she's like, "Oh, like it's nature." I'm like, "Okay, I get it. I get it. Like you're excited about the nature thing, which is
Mhm.
that's her sense of joy and happiness. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?" And like there's so many times that like throughout the day, sometimes I catch myself when I'm going through like a challenging moment or whatever it is, and I'm just like, this could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse, as in like I could have not the most exciting thing happen to me,
Yeah.
and as much as it sucks in the moment that I'm pissed, I always kind of rehash and try to tell myself like it's gonna be alright. It's just in the moment that you're upset. That it's not like a end all be all when it comes down to it. But I mean, speaking about that, how do you deal with the challenges of being a photographer? Because you're competing with people that somebody has their cell phone. That's I take a picture, but it's a very different mindset when it comes down to like what the detail that you put into your line of work and everything like that too. Like what differentiates you from say other photographers?
I, I I think I was a little differentiated by like my personality. I like
Yes,
to bring friendship and
yes,
like part of some people may not like this, but like part of the family. I want them to feel like that they can connect with me,
correct,
a friend or a family member,
correct.
and feel comfortable with for them to be them true selves.
And it's so true that you bring that up, the connection thing, connection piece, because I mean that's like my job, right? Too many times like people are like, oh, like I bought a car from so and so, and they don't remember who they bought the car from. That's
Mhm.
not a connection. That's just like you bought a car and it was a transaction. It was not a connection. Is oh, I have a person that works in this industry. I would rather have you work with them because I know they're gonna do the job to the fullest. You know what I mean?
Hey, nobody's ever gonna forget that you sold them a car.
I'm honored. If they would let me wear these little like Pokemon stuff, nobody forget that as well too. But
But I guarantee you, like everybody you sold the car to, they probably remember you.
I'm grateful when they do because I think it's me myself. I get excited because I'm like, oh my gosh, like you thought about me, and it's not even in a braggadocious way. It's just like it's cool because you see them years later. I had somebody that came in. This is like a couple weeks back, and they bought a car from me, and like when I first started at Heart. This is like 2016, but I remember them because I try to make sure I don't forget people too easily. But I walked past them, I was like, I know you. You bought a car. You bought this, and like they're like, is your name Nana? I'm like, yes, and they're like, yeah, you sold us a car before you dyed your hair and everything, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's why you look so familiar. But like it was super cool just to kind of like shoot the stuff with them and catch up with them, and that's a connection that goes a long way. That most of the time, I think, too many times we forget to foster those connections. You know what I mean? Um, and I get it. We all are busy. People have work, things that nature. But it's like sometimes it's okay to be like, hey, like da, 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 or whatever it is. And I'm probably like the toughest person to reach sometimes, as you can probably tell. Like sometimes I just lose track of time, and I'm like, oh shoot, I haven't responded to this in like 3 days. You know what I mean? And it's like, holy crap. But I always try to get back to it. If I can't, then obviously I'll let the person know whatever it is. But I'm very big about just like letting people know what's going on or things that nature, you know. But okay, so now I got a question. Role models, idols, photographers, people of inspiration. Who do you draw your inspiration from? And it doesn't even have to be photography oriented. It could be just anything. Like who are your people that you look up to?
Well, I'm always looking up to people that are a little more successful than me.
Okay.
You know, because that kind of brings me like, okay, what are they doing to be successful? What kind of mindset do they have?
Hmm.
Yes, I'm always trying to look at people like that and follow them and stuff.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. Well, I love the whole you said the mindset thing because when it comes down to mindset wise, I'm very like laser focused, right? When I'm at work, I'm very almost like I like to think like a Tom Brady, Michael Jordan type or Kobe Bryant approach where it's like very like I'm here to do my job and then I leave here and I go live my life. At the end of the day, like I can't this is a subsection of me. I just gotta just leave it there when I leave work. Now I can focus on the other things that I have in mind, which is i.e. like cosplay, fitness, working out type of things that nature. That all goes a long way for me. You know what I mean? So that's like a huge thing for me.
Yep.
But speaking about, how come you haven't been in any of these cons? Because we need your energy there. I think you would absolutely love it because
No.
photography wise, there's a lot of content that you can even get from pictures. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've been wanting to go sometime. Just
Okay.
a little bit of anxiety.
Okay. I mean, I know. I mean, I totally understand that, but it's so interesting, Eric, because like the cosplay community, it's probably one of the most I don't even know, like I guess accepting because everybody's just different, and different as in a good thing. Like no one person is the same in that community, as in like everybody has their own niche of like you can have 5 Pikachu cosplays and they will all look very different. You know what I mean? Like I remember when I was at the New York Comic Con and you do you follow Demon Slayer or any anime by any chance? I want to make sure. So obviously, so Demon Slayer.
Again.
I was gonna say I was like you know anime very well, so that's why I was like I'm pretty sure Eric likes anime, but I want to make sure. But when I went there was one day I was wearing a Tengen outfit, and I remember I was like I know I'm gonna see a whole bunch of Tengens because he's a popular character and it's a cool character at the same time too. So like literally, I had specifically sought out Tengens that whole day. And it was so cool because you could see that there's not any identical one. Even though it might be the same outfit, there's always some little niche that's a little different. Like there's some guy that literally had the same outfit that I had, but he had different pair of shoes, different pair of like rings on his arm, and then he had a different headband. And it just was like, okay, this is so interesting because it shows you how like you can kind of like navigate it of how you want to tailor your own cosplay to it. You know what I mean? But that goes back to like the whole community of cosplay brings out that sense of like just uniqueness, and I think your energy would definitely be useful in that space. You know what I mean? And they sometimes, believe it or not, they do have free cons, so like you don't have to pay for anything; you just got to just show up. And people are super cool. Like they're grateful when people take pictures of them because it goes a long way for them to kind of hold that memory. You know what I mean?
I kind of want a costume though.
Well, oh look who's here! Hold on, hold on.
Oh,
Look
look
who's
at
here!
the cowboy
Look
hat.
who's
Ride him, cowboy.
yeah.
I was wearing my
My
real
laptop is upstairs. What did you say, Eric?
So how'd you do it this way?
No. So what it is it wouldn't check it out. It wouldn't let me go live, but we just freestyling it.
Go live.
Look, I've been doing that the whole time, but it's cool. It's cool. We
Well,
having a great conversation.
somebody's on.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, my laptop is upstairs if you want to join. We just
Okay,
do some stuff.
I'll go.
Go do your thing. Sorry about that, Eric. She just got back, so she's excited to get back on our show and everything like that too. So, but that's what I'm saying. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Are you wearing your tail?
It is right there. Right. Bro, the tail had to happen. It had to. You can't just wear one thing and not
Oh,
have
that's so funny. Now I get it.
Do you
Can
see what I
you
mean?
hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so this is freaking hilarious. So like, can y'all hear each other?
Oh, okay. There you go, Connor.
Finally, it worked.
I'm gonna leave and jump back in.
Okay.
Ooh, that was. Woo.
No, so Connor, I want to introduce you to Eric. Eric Connor, right over here.
Nice to meet you, sir.
I love that we all just got like random props on our head. Like this is freaking hilarious. Like
Squirtle.
yeah. So I gotta tell you a story, Eric. So how me and Connor met is because Connor's sister actually worked with me at HAR. This is a year, 2 years almost, and she's like, "Yo, like my brother is into cosplay," and I was like, "Oh, cool! Like let's do it." So it was actually his sister's birthday, and we went to Anime Rhode Island, and it was so cool because we just kind of vibed. And Connor was dressed up as a Jujutsu Kaisen, if I'm not mistaken.
Gojo
Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen, and then I think Drew was just wearing just like regular clothes, and then I was wearing.
She was birthday girl.
That's what it was, and now SpongeBob, I think, right? Or was it?
Yes, you were SpongeBob.
This is hilarious.
Buff Bob.
But no, it was so freaking amazing. So now here we are now, and like this is beautiful. I'm actually loving that we all like are tapped in right now. So, but basically, Connor, Eric is actually a really good friend of Kerri and myself, and he's actually Kerri's neighbor, believe it or not.
Oh,
Eric and I
nice.
also go back because his sister had bought a car for me years ago before I even knew who Eric was. So this is kind of like a cool full circle moment of how like everything transpired. You know what I mean?
Small world.
It literally. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just so excited that you guys are all on here. Like this is freaking amazing. And I know Kerri just literally she had to pick up my mom, so she was running late, and she is actually now asking for a way to get in. You hear? Can you hear us?
I have the power of Grayskull.
You're wild for that.
Too young for the original He-Man and She-Ra, but that's okay.
Cap. Oh, at least I love that we like. I was just saying we all have things in our head, so like everybody should like do like a prop like announcement or something like that.
I have Billy's sunglasses.
And then Eric got the cowboy hat, bro.
That is so funny. Yo, so I'm gonna just jump in because I can't help it. It's just my vibe. But anybody watching, thank you so much for joining us on the Bright Side Chronicles. This is episode 10. Say what? And I'm a little late because I had to go get Nana's mama from Ghana. Well, she flew in from Ghana. But I'm super excited to have you here. So, Eric, you're our guest first showing up, and then Connor, you're the returning guest. Are you playing? You're playing with buttons.
No, my fault. I got excited, but yes, I'm
listening. Connor has the power right now. Which
I'm like He-Man. I'm He-Man.
Yeah, but anyway, Eric, what's the deal with the cowboy hat?
Well, because Nano's wearing the Pikachu ears, so I'm like, all right, I have to get a hat to kind of match the vibe. You know?
I just feel like going, yeehaw, ride cowboy.
Yo, what?
Yesterday, you know, I said my wife and I went to P-Town for our anniversary.
Ooh.
Kind of a cool area. It was her first time being there.
Where'd you go?
P-Town.
Oh, I love P-Town.
And then I went up to Rice Point. And I think next time I go up there, I want to take my Jeep out on the sand dunes and the beach and watch the whales because that's a good. So they have whales up. You can just drive your Jeep right on the beach.
That's crazy.
So
did you guys talk at all about what Eric does?
We were shooting shit, like we really were. But you can go ahead, do your thing. I'm
because
just loving that we're all here.
All right, so for the listening audience, the Bright Side Chronicles was cultivated from Nana and I because I truly believe in the power, and I know Nana does too, in the power of joy and how when we find our purpose and passion, that is able to transmute into all areas of our life. And so, Eric, I know that you're a phenomenal photographer. How did you stumble into photography, and how has really delving into the world of photography changed your ability to experience joy throughout your everyday life?
We got into that a little bit.
Oh my gosh, we got so many guests today,
so
bro.
cute.
We got into to say that a little bit. So it was kind of a hard thing to get into at first, something I really liked and enjoyed, but I was kind of, worried about what other people thought and the stigma and stuff like that. But later on, as I grew up and learned why do I really care too much about what people think, And when my mom passed away, I realized, how important photos were and video. It kind of gave me the push to get into it. And so I did. And then I also realized that it helps out with my, little bit of a depression.
Yeah.
Because, before I was looking down the sidewalk, counting all the bubble gum on the sidewalk and being doom and gloomy, And now, just out of, doing it for a while now, like every time I look someplace, like, oh, that could be a really good shot. And it just brings me happiness now that I am actually looking all around, looking in the sky, looking everywhere instead of just down on the ground and just going along with my life,
Yeah, I love that. So would you say that tapping into photography, one, gave you more confidence, but two, and I think more importantly, gave you the gift of being more present in the current moment?
For sure. It definitely gave me, allow me to be more present, and it allows me to step out of my comfort zone because, I'm not a person, big group kind of person. And I like, one or two people, but, photography kind of pushes me to get out of my comfort zone, meet a lot of new people, be part of groups and stuff like that. So
that's amazing. I love that so much. And so I want to bring in, I don't even know what Connor is. He's
Connor is he's a Squirtle, so this is Pokemon.
Oh, you're the Squirtle. Like the girl Squirtle with the saxophone.
Yes, my friend Lily.
Okay, anyway, no, back to the serious topic. Yeah. So would the ability to be present in this current moment, I think, is such a profound topic to talk about when it comes to joy, because so often our depression comes from focusing on the past, and anxiety comes from anticipating and really wanting to know about the future. But if you're looking at a picture in the sky that you can capture on photography, or if you're jumping on a random show and coming across Twiddle and whatever, Pikachu, not a Pikachu, and Cowboy, you get to really tap into the present moment, which gives us the ability to not worry about anything.
Photography has helped out so much in that aspect. And I kind of hope a lot of other people get into that themselves and realize that it'll help with anxiety, it'll help with a little bit of depression. That's what it will do.
Yeah.
So we talked about it's interesting because when me and Eric were talking about it, I was talking about how like photography has like so many different avenues, right? Like you can do wedding shoots, you can do graduations, you can do maybe cosplay ones or whatever it is. There's so many avenues that you can keep expanding. So it's kind of really cool to just see like Eric's viewpoint on it, because it's just amazing to just talk about, oh man, like this is how you prepare for the shoots. And we're talking about that, just like how he like locks in, gets ready for shoots and stuff like that, which is really cool. So I know you didn't get to hear that segment of it, but if you could please reiterate, Eric, with Connor and Kerri, like how you set up for your day and things like that too.
I set up my day.
Yeah, for your day, like when you have like a shoot coming up or anything like that. Like, what is your get ready with me type of thing?
So partly because I have a little bit of anxiety, so
Okay.
I kind of stress out about a lot of things, but it's also good in a way. Sorry, my wife is off.
It's
Hi,
all good. You're
Lacey.
good. You're good.
Hang on.
You good? But go ahead, babe. Eric's like, hold on.
All good.
So with anxiety and stuff like that, it kind of makes me stress out about stuff. But in a way, it's good because now like I'm focusing on like all the possible scenarios, and I know that that's why I have anxiety. So I go plan, have backup plans to my backup plans, and I prepare for everything. So that way, when something does go wrong, I know I already have a plan to counteract whatever is going to happen. For example, if it rains at a wedding or something, I have nice clear umbrellas that I can transition to a rainy photo shoot or something.
I want to ask though. I know I touched upon this with Connor when we talked too, and Connor, feel free to jump in if you want to say anything as well. But what I know you mentioned your mom passing away, but what was the driving force to bypass your fear of what other people thought about you to do what brings you joy? Because I think so often a lot of people are inspired by a craft and art or some type of whatever, but because they're so fearful about other people's opinions, they don't ever tap into it.
Yeah. So there is a lot of fear for me. Yeah, true. But I also kind of live with the thought that I got to move out of my comfort zone every now and then. If I stay in my comfort zone all the time, there's no growth. There's no change. There's no nothing. Okay.
Yeah. This is like a poetry slam. But so here's the thing, right? We as human beings are meant for expansion. I truly fundamentally believe that a big part of humanity's problem with anxiety and depression is that they're so comfortable that they don't show to themselves that they have the capacity to sit in discomfort, expand, and build upon that resilience muscle, mid-singular cortex, guys, to be able to do new things. So what was the driving factor? Just that you knew you needed to push yourself?
Well, I knew I needed to push myself, and then my mother passing away, and realizing I didn't have any pictures and stuff, and I didn't want anyone else to experience that. So I'm kind of made it my mission a little bit to be able to provide photos and videos to people, so that they can enjoy the moment of their memory, enjoy the moment of their kids' graduation or their wedding, and not worry about stuff. To know that the moment's going to be captured by myself and their memory is going to be preserved.
So speaking about the moments wise, babe, didn't we do a couple shoots with Eric?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, right? But
that would be saying that we were highly inappropriate and unbehaved people, and that's just not true.
But that is a moment that we also got the freezing time too, which I was beyond grateful for because it's just so cool. Like, even doing the one where we did like the whole sitting down and had the flame on us.
Yes.
That was all him. That was literally
I know.
Like, and I was like, you did the whole like whisking, and then I just thought it was so cool. Like, I was like, this is really like photography at its finest. Like, this is like how to like catch the shot that you're trying to get in that moment. You know what I mean?
Well, you guys are also patient too, and let me kind of work through that. So,
well, I mean, but that's the thing. I think when you're in joy, so this is the thing. This is why Nana and I started this show, and I had this conversation with somebody earlier today. When you live in joy, all you want to do is support other people in whatever brings them joy. So to me and Nana, we don't it's our pleasure and honor, because if I see somebody doing what makes them happy truly and inspires them, and you feel that energy, then why wouldn't I want to be a part of that?
Right.
I'm curious, Squirtle, what got any questions or thoughts you want to weigh in on this situation? I mean, if you're gonna show up in this costume, you have to know I'm coming.
Of course.
I can't even take you serious, bro.
One thing I love is I love photography myself. I just, when you can get that moment of something, no matter how small or minimalistic it could be a turning point in, something that you'll remember forever. And it's like you could take a picture of, some like a bird or something like that flying by, and then later down the road that turns into a memory of like a day where you had, all the family over or something like that, and that'd be the only photo you have of the day. And I will say, I am one of those people who I get so involved in the moment that I'm in, I forget to take pictures. Like there's times where like me and Nana are at cons and like I'm like, oh, I should have taken a picture with that person. I should have taken a picture of that. Or I go for a hike, or if I go on vacation, I'm like, oh, I should have taken more pictures of this. But I get so involved in the moment, and the people who are able to like take that like time to stop and see and visualize something, and people who are photographers have the greatest visions I've ever seen. And they see the world in different ways. I've seen people where, they throw stuff in the air to create like an effect or something like that, and I'm just like, I would never have thought of that. Or they can visualize like a perfect lighting to get like the shot, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I look at photography photos on social media all the time, and I'm just like, how do you come up with that?
Yo, speaking of, and to piggyback off of that, so Eric also did a photo shoot. If y'all didn't notice, he actually did my business card, the picture on my business card, and like literally, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up, because we literally. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but like this is some of his work. If y'all don't know, like this is just one of the very few. Like we did literally a photo shoot. I don't know if the audience can see it, but like it's literally pictures. Sorry, I was cheesing a little bit too
You
hard.
held out. You didn't show me. To the listening audience, he did not show me that.
You haven't seen this? What?
No.
Yeah, it was on my Facebook.
I don't scroll Facebook like that.
So that's
but anyway,
he's got them hidden. He's got them hidden.
For real,
well, it's so funny because people are like, "Did you see?" I'm like, honestly, I tap in to put in whatever, and I tap out. Eric, I'm curious. Is there a type of photography that brings you more, like the most joy? That like you're. Like, I'll give you an example. When I saw the picture of the eagle, I nearly lost my mind. I'm like, oh my God, Eric got the eagle.
He loves eagles, bro.
But is there a specific type of photography that just like you really thoroughly get your juices flowing?
Taking pictures of people and enjoy capturing their true selves and giving them the picture, and they can enjoy that memory. So that's mostly what I'm in photography for, is giving back to people, And then to talk about that eagle. So on the way home from, I was hired to do a funeral. So take video and photos of a funeral.
Really?
What the frick?
And
I didn't know that was the thing.
All three of us had the face like.
I didn't know either, but I can see that it is kind of important, and that is partly why, capture those memories that people have, future. So the person that passed away, was young, my age and stuff like that. I knew him a little bit too. So anyway, I took photos and videos from his funeral, and on the way home, I happened to be driving, and I saw that bald eagle, flying around on the road. I'm like, oh my God, I got to pull over and get this shot. So I grabbed my camera real quick, and ran down the road and like, I gotta get this guy, I gotta get this guy.
Yo, imagine seeing on the highway, just like somebody just running by, like, yo, I just trying to get pictures of the body.
People probably thought I was weird, but I ended up getting the pictures that I got, and it came out pretty good. And the family saw the picture, and I told them like, yeah, I saw it on the way home from the funeral, and they're like, oh my god, that's him. That's him saying,
Oh my gosh,
the bald eagle was his favorite bird. They were saying.
bruh.
So at the same time I took that picture, like the next day or something, his sister had a bald eagle fly into her window and fly away. And she's like, that's the bald eagle saying, hi,
Yo. Yeah,
saying
that's
hi.
what got me in the feels, bro. That got me in the feels.
I think it's beautiful. I mean, I'm very, very spiritual, and I have a lot of symbolisms that come to me. So I truly believe it. And I love how you said that your favorite part of photography is capturing those moments. Do you think that tapping into your ability to capture other people's moments have given you permission to step out of your comfort zone even further?
Yeah. For example, like that karaoke night that I went to the other night and took pictures of, I was hiding behind my camera. That's what allowed me to come over, and enjoy that karaoke night. Because I
Yeah.
was able to, hide behind my camera and take pictures and stuff like that.
So what other things bring you joy?
Well, I enjoy archery every now and then.
Archery, bitch.
Yeah, I enjoy my wife, and I enjoy bringing up happiness to others.
And evidently you enjoy working out. Is that a workout machine I see that you're sitting on? Eric's been holding out because Eric knows that I'll walk over and be like, oh, we working out today? Oh, okay, I see that.
I've had it for a week so far, and I've used it once.
Once a week? You know what though? That's not bad. I am a huge believer, guys. Micro steps done consistently over big jumps anytime.
Yep. It's
all about. I feel like you got anything else you want to add to the conversation or completely out of left field?
No, but like to piggyback on like those those micro steps, it's like some people, you may see somebody on social media posting a picture of them like after a workout or something like that, and you have that some people have that mentality where they're like, oh, there's no way I can make it that far, like there's no way it can happen. And it's like those people, it didn't just happen overnight. These are things that take years and years and years, and it's like you're not just gonna go from one way to another without having some faults and some missteps and things like that. And I've had a few people come up to me now when I'm at the gym asking me certain questions on how I got to this far because they've seen me progress, and I tell them, I'm like, oh, this is what I plan, this is what I do. And then like if they have any questions about if they feel like they're doing the sets wrong or their motions wrong, I'm there to help them out and show them the proper form and everything like that to get the most out of what they want. But everybody has something different that they want to go for, so that's something that they have to take in themselves. It's like what Nana always says, like, I'll give you the tools, but if you're not going to take the time yourself to look within yourself to decide if that's what you want, then my words are going to mean nothing for you.
Correct. Oh my gosh, bro. So many times. I love that you brought that up because it's just one of those things where I think I always harbor on is in like Kerri knows it. So like when we get newer employees that come to work, some people want to be really good. Some people just want to get by. And I'm like, if you really want to be good, you're going to seek out the people who are doing well to figure out how they got there. You know what I mean? It's not going to be an overnight sensation. It doesn't happen rarely like that. I was not an overnight sensation. I can tell you that. Like my first ever customer literally would not get out of their car. And I was like, damn, this is going to be funny as hell if I can get past this part. And years later, like, like I remember to the day, it was these two women pulled up in a minivan looking for a minivan. it was like 3 degrees outside because it's dead of winter, and I'm over here trying to show them like 2 minivans. They absolutely didn't want anything to get out the car, and I was like, "Damn, this is tough." But I'm glad it started like that because it let me know that's like as bad as it can get. Instead of it starting like, "Oh, somebody just walked in and bought a car," and then I was just like, false assumption of thinking it's just always that easy. So it kind of put a reality check in the first customer I had, and I was like, "Okay, cool, like it."
But I want to bring it full circle because I imagine going back to like the once a week and you've had it for a week. When you first started photography, right? You kind of didn't go full force into photography. You dipped your toes. And now you're really successful at photography. I mean, when people looking for a photographer, I always shout you out. So, for the listening audience, whatever it is you seek it in small steps consistently, and celebrate the crap out of yourself. Celebrate the fact that you bought the machine. Celebrate the fact that you did one workout. I think we so often focus on what we're not doing or how we're limited rather than highlight the crap out of what we're doing. And that really diminishes our power, which is the other reason I'm all about joy, because in joy, guys, our energy is unmatched. If Connor is having a day where he listens to his music, he is just feeling himself, right? Exactly. That is an energy that unless you're in that same space, you can't even touch it. You know what I mean?
Yo, I just love that Scroller just did a little.
I know. You know what, Squirtle?
That's my between sets dance that I do at the gym. I'll just be sitting there listening to no matter what it is, if it's my metal music or if I put on white girl party anthems.
Yep.
White girl party anthem.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You best believe if I'm hitting legs, I'm listening to like Miley Cyrus, Britney Spears, Lady Gaga.
You said, "Oops, I did it again."
And then when it's upper body day, it's nothing but like Sleep Token, Falling in Reverse, the heavy stuff.
You see?
That is so funny. So, Eric, with a few minutes left, I'm curious, what's next for you? Like, do you have any goals or things that you still want to continue to tap into that will bring you joy?
I want to keep growing my photography business and stuff like that. I would love to make it a full-time job. That might be that's kind of a longer term goal, I believe. I want to focus on my health and stuff like that. I want to look like Nana next week.
Hey, let's go! Let's go!
So what's one thing that you would want to leave the listening audience with? Like one piece of wisdom that has helped you step out of your comfort zone and not exist just in that space of being depressed and having anxiety that you think could help somebody else?
Yeah. I don't know who quoted this, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And I love myself that way. Like, hey, I want that, but if I don't go and take that shot, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So sometimes you may not hit every shot, but you gotta try for it.
But what did you say you've learned along the way? Even the shots that you quote unquote didn't make, you learned to dial in and readjust?
I'm sorry, I want to went over my head a little bit.
Quite all right. Every time you've taken a shot and it's quote unquote missed, would you not say that you've learned something from that experience?
Oh, for sure. You learn to readjust and figure out a different way to do it. Assuming you want to keep pursuing it, you just keep going for it. Like there are times where I took a shot, like photography, take a photo or a video, it doesn't work out. You keep working at it until you figure it out. For example, I spent probably 2 hours today trying to get my camera live stream on my laptop my photography camera. It worked out, but the internet was laggy, so I switched to my phone anyway. But it took me 2 hours to figure out all the correct settings on my laptop, and it was a little frustrating, but I kept working through it. I got it.
I love that.
And hold on, babe. So to Eric's point too, that was literally what I was dealing with when I logged into here. I was like, she said I should just say go live, press this, that, and then Connor was trying to get in here as well. It would show Connor couldn't hear me, and I'm like, yo, like what is going on? Like this is not. So I kind of was like, damn, and I was like, is Eric? Can you hear me? Because obviously Eric is the guest speaker, so I want to make sure also he gets to say his take on it. And I'm just like, dude, like you can't make this up anymore. And I'm just like, you know what? It's cool. We just go on freestyle, but it just shows that you can still redirect the course and shift it into your favor of having a great conversation, which we've been doing. So I just want to just point that out that it doesn't always come from the script.
I also think, here's the thing. The ability to go with the flow, you and me, Nana, I can say we do that really well, allows me the opportunity to go help my mother-in-law when she needs the help, or hi, oh my God, Yanko. See, I want Yanko on the show so badly. Yanko is the co-host to my show for no particular reason, and he's fire. Maybe one day he'll show up and he'll be dressed up in some random costume, and I'll be shocked because normally he's not dressed up. No, but our ability to go with the flow allows us to go through all of these challenges with ease and grace and fluidity, which I think is really important. All right, guys, it's that time. Any and all of you, what you got to share with the listening audience before we pop off?
Stay unique, keep shocking the world, and seize the moment as much as you can.
I will say that no matter how comfortable your shell may be, it is worth it to peek your head out and enjoy the light that is the world.
Oh! What about you, Eric? Anything?
I can't stop that.
Yeah.
No.
I would just say you got to give it your all every day. It's not every day is a gift. You can't sit on the couch watching TV all day, every day, wasting that gift. You got to go improve yourself and achieve the goals.
For me, it's always gonna be. I encourage everybody, come from a lens of curiosity. You have no idea what the next great thing that brings you joy is until you try it. You have no idea what another culture's food is until you absorbed yourself into it and tried it. You have no idea who the next love of your life is unless you put yourself out there. And so often people go through experiences like Eric where they're dialing in their camera, it doesn't work after 2 hours, or they've been in a relationship for 2 years and it didn't work out, and so they just stop. And I say keep staying curious, because in that curiosity it will lead you to great things.
Well said. Well said.
All right, guys. Until next week, this is another episode of the Bright Side
Bright
Chronicles.
Side Chronicles.
Pikachu, also known as Nana Agyemang, and my dear friends Connor and Eric. Thank you so much, Eric, for going with the flow and showing up and sharing some of your wisdom. You are appreciated and deeply loved by me.
You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And